Hello, great educators, great counselors, great EdTech entrepreneurs, great teacher trainers, great computer scientists who have joined us from around the world. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this evening interaction. It's a connection which will enable us to serve humanity better. I'm Dr. Peter Ogudoro. A good number of you are already familiar with the work we do using the platform of Nigerian Teachers Community. It's a community that I founded in 2016. And as we speak, we are approaching 0.8 million members who come from over 100 countries around the world. And we are happy with the quality of work we are doing because we're empowering teachers to use the free resources on our platform to do much better job than they are used to. So they are using their classrooms now to truly transform lives. And we are very happy about the fact that we are associated with this movement. And this evening's interaction will empower us the more to do, those things that are uncommon. We're going to talk about unconventional approaches to solving some of the problems that confront our world. If we have to continue to do it the way government has always designed the education system, we are not likely to get out of the woods. If you are not very fortunate to have had the opportunity to travel extensively, you might think that everything works perfectly in America, in Canada, in the UK, but that's not true. I have been privileged to move around the world, and I know that those societies are still struggling with their own ideas. Education is a space where the people who formulate our policies a lot of times are not professional educators themselves. They are politicians who come and tell us what to do, and a lot of times the things they want us to do are not necessarily what will move society forward. And we think that the time has come for us to get into the vanguard, leading the charge to make things happen positively for all of us. So this evening, it's my great pleasure to welcome some teacher trainers, computer scientists, and EdTech entrepreneurs from around the world. Abdullahi Bature has joined us from Nigeria. Abdullahi is an EdTech entrepreneur. He has built a fantastic platform that will help you to reduce the time it takes you to prepare your lesson plan from over 2 hours to just about 5 minutes. And will give you also opportunity to even populate your lesson plans with much better content, state-of-the-art knowledge, giving you the latest thinking in the whatever field that you teach, which I think is brilliant. And you will be given an opportunity today to share that with us. So everybody in this meeting today is very privileged to be among the first to hear and probably get access to that platform. Dr. Grace Olubodi is a fantastic Nigerian who is very proud of our country. Interestingly, as we speak now, she is based in the UK. She has joined us from the UK, and she is always happy to be associated with any project that will empower Nigerian education stakeholders to do more for society. And so she will also get an opportunity this evening to meet you. All the way from Canada, we have also got a Nigerian by association who loves our country so much. She has worked in Nigeria as an academic, working at the American University, which is a high-profile university, even in the global context. She's a professor of entrepreneurship. Dr. Tamara Wyatt has joined us from Canada. We'll give her opportunity later to share ideas with you on how you can start from, with little or nothing, and almost from your bedroom, and move to the rest of the world and make so much money. Nigerian teachers complain a lot about not earning enough. And I have been having conversation with Tamara, lately about the possibility of getting teachers to earn better money through getting more paying jobs. But Tamara is very insistent on her conviction, given information she has gathered through research and experience, that the way for people to earn more money in teaching is not necessarily by way of sitting down there waiting for their employers to give them more money, but they can keep a job and do quite a lot by the side and make much more money from their side hustles. And she will give us an idea regarding how that can happen. And if you're already a school owner, she will sell some ideas to you, which you can employ to make life much easier for yourself and all the stakeholders in the school business that you run. Okay, so I'll be giving you opportunity very shortly to meet all these fantastic people who have joined us from around the world. But remember that this evening we are trying to look at personal branding and the connection it has with entrepreneurship, especially if you want to be very successful as an entrepreneur. And so when it comes to personal branding, you must recognize that you have to distinguish yourself from the rest of the crowd. What we'll find is that the average school owner or the average teacher just does exactly what all other school owners and teachers do. And when you do that, you are not distinguishing yourself from the crowd. And so what you get is exactly what every member of the crowd gets. So if you are going to be truly outstandingly successful, you must be happy and willing to try new ways of doing things. But those new ways shouldn't just be new ways, they should be new but more effective ways of doing things. And so if you're going to brand yourself in an effective way, then you must first seek knowledge, get the expertise needed, get the right skills, get the right values, and also be willing to do what other people are not doing. So in your community, you must be known for something that most other people are not known for. So we talk about positioning. In the education industry, do you want to be known as an expert in early childhood education? Even within early childhood education, you can also create a niche for yourself. You may be emphasizing probably helping children to acquire the power of the right language development in children. You know, everybody talks about phonics. You can research into that and see if there's an aspect of it that everybody seems to be ignoring. And that is something that will be very empowering, reducing costs, as well as it costs not just in terms of the money, how much it costs parents to give their children good quality education, but also reducing the amount of time it takes for children to learn the things they need to learn. Personally, I know that graciously I've been able to do this over the years. I have traversed diverse fields of learning, including political science, education, guidance and counseling, advertising, public relations, innovation, communication, broadcasting, etc. And as an educationist, what I have done is to always look for ways to shorten the duration it takes to give people good quality education. And in one of the disciplines, for example, public relations, what I have succeeded to research and practice is to, for example, reduce the amount of time it takes for people to qualify in public relations from about 3 years to just 6 days of intensive training using appropriate technology and exposing them to platforms around the world they can access without having to gather in a physical space. So when they gather in a physical space, it's just once every 7 days, and they interact with their mentors and resource persons. And in a period of about 6 months, these people have become much better than the people who used to spend 3 years going to school almost every day and not even acquiring the required skills to be able to make a difference in their profession. And it's something I'm very happy about. I'm just returning from an event. That event, the spokesperson, for one of the security agencies in our country, when he saw me, he had to get up to greet me very well. And everybody in the hall was looking, who is this person that this man everybody reveres, and with all his, orderlies standing behind him and waiting to see who is going to do any nonsense, and they will use their guns to shoot him down. That's because I'm a teacher and I've taught in a very unique and differentiated way. So personal branding is about doing things other people are not doing, but making sure that that which you are doing that is different is positive. It's not just being different for being different sake. Adolf Hitler was different in a number of ways, but that difference didn't, much benefit the world, except for those who have learned lessons from, the Second World War, and now they are trying to ensure that we don't have another one. That's the truth of the matter. Yeah, so personal branding requires finding your niche, carving out a small area for yourself. Even when you run a regular school, most of the time when you sell ideas to Nigerian school owners and teachers and say, well, this thing we are doing, we're just doing what every other person is doing. It's not, we are not producing world-class children who are going to be globally competitive. They say, well, there isn't much they can change because government has a curriculum they have to use, and government says if you have to do lesson notes in a particular way. And so they just have to do what government wants them to do. But the truth we know is that when they go through training, especially when I superintendent, they discover that you can do what government wants you to do, which should be a minimum, but it shouldn't stop there. Then you have to have your own signature on the work you're doing, so that your children will not just be like products who are coming out of a mass production system in a manufacturing facility. Your children should be distinguishable in the larger society. They should be people who, when they say they are engineers, they can fix things. Who, when they say they are communicators, they are truly communicators, they can make a difference. And who, when they say they are medical doctors, if you walk into their clinics, you come out alive. And when they make prescriptions, those things will make a difference. So that's important for us to know, that we just can't sit down there and say, that's what the government wants us to do. And we think we don't have power. We have got power, we have got agency. One of the very important lessons I learned, studying in England, especially during my doctoral program and moving to several other countries around the world, including Norway and Austria, especially in Austria, where I had the privilege to go to their Center for Innovation in Education, is the fact that we have agency. We can't sit down there and say the reason why we are not doing well is because the society is preventing us from doing well. We can cover the niche for ourselves and demonstrate willingness to try new ideas and know that achieving breakthrough may not be something that comes, that results overnight. When you see a boxer walk into the ring and defeat his opponent in 2 minutes, that job most of the time is not done in those 2 minutes. A significant fraction of it was done much earlier than that. Sometimes the person has trained for 3 years before coming to use only 2 minutes to show the world what the person has done. So we are going to look at all of those things, and starting with let's meet you in the formal sense, Grace, Dr. Grace Olubodi. You are joining us from the UK. Grace, you're welcome to this gathering, bringing Nigerian teachers together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, so can you let us a little bit into your world? What's your what kind of training have you received, and what was the motivation that made you go in those directions?
Okay. Well, thanks everyone for having me. It's lovely to be on this call with you all. Thanks, Dr. Peter, as well. Yeah, so I actually run a startup called Virginio. We create mathematics games for kids to help children love maths, increase confidence, and eliminate mathematical anxiety. And what our mission is to really help them create more opportunities for a successful future and be able to relate mathematics to real life, but through Get Maths games, so that they're learning without realizing that they're learning and they think they're playing. My background is computing. I studied, but my BSc was in computing, and my master's was in financial markets with information systems. So that was my sort of formal training. I have an honorary doctorate in recognition of helping children fall in love with mathematics from London Metropolitan University. And there's, in terms of formal training, there's not much more in terms of formal training. However, I've done a lot of training outside that, entrepreneurship. I mean, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. Our startup, we've run it for 8 years now. And just recently, within the last year, we've been preparing to launch the digital version of our board games that we created, all math games for kids to help them love math. So there's been a tremendous amount of training going through with all of that, whether it's selling online, digital marketing, selling on Amazon, just sales, direct sales, marketing, recruiting, all the works.
Yeah, you seem to be a very fortunate person, being comfortable with both mathematics and programming, coding, areas that are very critical for accelerated development of the world we live in today. you know Nigeria well. You live in the UK now. And you also travel to other parts of the world. Can you share a little bit about your experience regarding what do you think is what is the difference between the type of education you see us deploy in Nigeria and what you have found in the UK? And I know about 2 weeks ago you were also in the US. What can you say about any differences you have observed?
Okay, thank you. That's a great question. I don't know about fortunate about being being comfortable with programming and mathematics. I think with programming, that's certainly a choice, and it's a skill. Okay. And I always say that programming is a skill, maths is a skill. Any skill requires deliberate practice with the right guidance. So I actually, decided to stick to the programming when it wasn't going well, especially during my BSc when a lot of people were running away from doing programming. I was thinking if I could just stick at it and just get it, get it, whatever that means, because I know that there's a corner you turn at some point when you're learning some things where it then all starts to make sense, and it will always be, challenging, but it's a choice to keep at it, until you get that skill, because the skill is something that anybody can gain. With the maths, I mean, my story with maths went, way back when I was 10 years old. My dad supported me and he made maths fun and creative for me. And he turned me from an average C student with mathematical anxiety to an A student just by making maths fun and creative. So this was between primary school and secondary school, the summer in between. And then when I got into secondary school, right after that summer, it was the end of the academic year, and then it was prize giving day, and they called out the name of the person who won the maths prize out of over 350 students, and you'll never believe that was me, and I was just as shocked as everybody else, and I was looking back to whoever the maths champion that they called out, to come forward, and I just couldn't believe it that it was me. I thought it was a clerical error, but actually I had actually won the maths prize out of over 350 students, whereas just the academic year before then, I was one of the ones who had mathematical anxiety. I was one of the ones who was worried about the teacher coming in every time, because I remember my teacher, he would come into the class and he would come in and say, the last to talk, and he'd have this big cane and everybody stays standing. And then he calls out times tables to all of you. He just points at you random and calls out anything, 8 times 9, whatever, and you had to get it right. Otherwise, you don't get to sit down. So that's where a lot of the anxiety came from in the first place, in primary school. Then there was that summer between primary school and secondary school where my dad then supported me, and he made maths fun and creative. And although that was Nigeria, a lot of that doesn't happen in Nigeria. So coming to how that's different, in other parts of the world, especially in the UK and the US, they're still also struggling. Don't get me wrong. They're really, really struggling. But but at least they are trying. You could actually see, the efforts and how desperately they're trying to help make maths more creative. The problem with maths is that a lot of people make it abstract, the way it's taught, very, very abstract, and not, like a set of abstract, steps that need to be taken. Whereas it's supposed to be more fun, creative, relating to real life. And that's what in Nigeria, a lot of that is still not being done. Whereas in the UK and the US, they're trying to do all those things. You see a lot of colorful things in classrooms, a lot of colorful manipulatives to help them, because that's certainly how I became a maths person. I always say there's no such thing as a maths person, actually. Maths is only a skill, and any skill, as I said earlier, requires deliberate practice with the right guidance. So that's kind of where my maths and programming love came from. So that's why I said I don't know about fortunate. It was kind of some deliberate things were being done, whether by me or by somebody supporting me. Abdullahi says he's a maths person. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, great. So talking about the things you're involved in now, could the fact that your father played that role in your life have inspired you to also now think about how we can make learning mathematics fun for children?
Absolutely. That's what made me go on to study computing at university, because when I started when I won that maths prize, I then realized that this is doable, because it made me believe that I can do it. Not only could I do it, I then believed I can do anything if I put my mind to it and I put in the practice and I get the guidance. you know, and then I went on to started winning. And then I went for further maths and won that prize as well. And then went for other things, started representing the school in competitions and all that. So I'd become a totally different person. And you can imagine what that kind of experience, what kind of impact that had on a 10-year-old, you know, 10-year-old. So yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah. So as you say that, you know, you are more or less calling attention to the fact that quality of teaching is a variable that determines whether a child loves mathematics or not.
It's definitely a big part of it. It's a big part of it. People, because it's not always just the teacher. There's also the parents. Too is important. But if a child has at least one of those, you know.
Yeah. So when I talk about quality of teaching, I'm not narrowing, you know, teaching towards the regular person with the tag teacher does. Your dad was a teacher in that context. So he taught you in a way that was very different from what we are used to, and you got transformed, you know, within a few weeks and became a star. So I'm not limiting teaching, the concept of teacher, to the teacher we see in a regular school. I'm seeing a mother, a father as also being the capacity of, you know, playing the role of a teacher. And,
absolutely. A mother, a father, a sibling, a neighbor, an uncle, a mentor, you know, just anyone to just give that child some confidence that they can do it, you know, and of course a teacher.
Excellent. That's brilliant. Maybe we should bring you in here at Tamara, talking about quality of teaching. What do you have to say about that from your experience before we talk about entrepreneurship, where you have made your mark as a researcher and an academic? Is it really true that how we introduce concepts to children does make a difference in terms of whether they learn or not?
I think, first of all, Grace, well done. I loved your story. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Good for you. It's fantastic. Okay. When I look at it, I'll be as succinct as I can, Dr. Peter. I think when we look at education and what influences whether or not a child learns, like I look at what's happening in the West, right? We're trying to bring in all these new ideas in the classroom, you know, to engage kids in learning. But education comes down to that one fundamental connection between an educator and a student. And then beyond that, it goes to the family and to the community. Like if we live in a country where the whole country puts a great emphasis on the quality of education, like for instance, if I'm in Singapore, okay, the whole society, for the most part, I taught there, so I know it well. Okay, they put a great emphasis, the whole community puts a great emphasis on the importance of education. Then you've got the grandparents, you have the family, which presses an importance on education. And if you combine that with a teacher who loves what they do, like when I heard Grace's story, what I took from it was her dad loved what he was doing. And of course, he loves his daughter. Okay, but he loved what he's doing. And that love inspired Grace, that came across, right? And her dad showed a value for education. So I would say, if we're going to talk about educational quality, we also first, I believe, have to address the wider community, what emphasis or what value they place on education. Because if a child is in a society where the parent values in it, or if the school values education, and they try to give their utmost to the kids, but the parents don't value it, and then the larger community doesn't place a great value on it, the child is caught between. So those reinforcers have to come from a multi-dimensional perspective in a society. So yes, of course, great instructional strategy is key. A very inspirational teacher lies at the heart of good teaching, which is what Mrs. Grace's wonderful dad was. But then the influence of that family and the larger community, which places great emphasis on education, all act as positive influencers in the development of a child's intellectual journey, let's say.
So what you're saying in effect is that the job we do as teachers shouldn't begin and end with us. That is a collective effort if we have to help children to become what they are programmed
100%. As a headmistress, I used to be a headmistress. First thing I did, my first meeting My first meeting, I called every single parent, plus the grandparents, into the gymnasium of the school, plus the cousins, and whoever would come from the community. I brought them all into a gym and said, I can't do my job unless we all are going in one direction. And that is the value of education, and you support what I'm doing. That was my first job. Once you had the buy-in of the community, the families, the grandparents, the uncles, the cousins, then I can begin the process of educating your child and doing it beautifully.
Fantastic. Now that you are still, making these comments, can we benefit from your experience as a researcher in the field of entrepreneurship? Well, so far, what have you learned? Do you think the education system in most countries in the world is programmed to produce great entrepreneurs? What barriers are you seeing?
100% no. And I will try to curb my overzealous passion here, which I have a tendency to have. But 100%, absolutely 1000% no. We are not creating an educational system at the secondary level or the university level that is generating a generation of kids. And I don't like to use the word entrepreneurship, but we're generating a whole generation of kids who understand what it means to be self-sufficient and self-enterprising and understand what skills they need to be able to self-provide. Right? That is the first type of thinking we need to get them involved in. Like, what can I do? What skills do I have? What skills can I develop? So I'm not dependent on an external party to make my living for myself and my family. These are the kind of mind shifts that I believe we have to do with young people. So rather than say, okay, what skills can I acquire that will make me employable? It's what skills do I have, or what skills can I attain that will make me put myself in a position where I can provide my own means of living. That's the mind shift that I work on with students to start. The word entrepreneurship comes at a bit of a later date, but the first step is to get them out of this mindset of look for a job. It's to get them in the mindset of let me create my own job. That's my approach.
Okay. Talking about creating your own job, recently I got talking with you regarding the complaint we get from the average teacher on our platform. And that complaint has a lot to do with they are not paid well. Teachers every day come and say private school owners don't pay well. Even those in the public sector say, well, it may look like it's a little better, but it still doesn't, the take-home pay doesn't really take them home. So what do you think? Is it possible for the teachers today? Do you think the average teacher is really as entrepreneurial as they should be? And
no, don't even get me started. I won't. Education, the whole field of education is so removed from the world of entrepreneurship yet, and I'll try to be succinct, Dr. Peter, in my explanation. I genuinely believe that if we're looking for change in the education sector, we can't look to universities. Forget about it. It's not going to happen. We can't look to government. It's not going to happen. The people who are going to change the world, regardless of the sector, and there will be good and there will be bad inherent in this, but there's good and bad inherent in whomever leads a particular industry. But the people who are changing the world, and they're doing it right now, are the entrepreneurs and the innovators. They're doing it right now. If you look at any educational innovation or reform or revolution, let's say, or disruptor, or any movements in education right now, you can look to entrepreneurs because that's where it's happening. I personally don't see my government doing anything. They're teaching the same thing they've been teaching 40 years ago. University similar. There is some change at surface level, but it's not the revolution that I'm seeing entrepreneurs bring forward. So, and there's a whole other issue. Like, I look at the fact that we can go to the moon, right? I mean, we can land rockets that go up in space, beautiful white, they come down all dirty, and they're caught by chopsticks, by Elon Musk. We can do that, but yet we have hundreds of millions of kids who will never see the inside of a classroom. And it amazes me how we can catch a rocket from coming from space, and yet we've got, what was I reading? People can fact check me. We're looking at hundreds of millions. 600 million kids approximately worldwide can't read and write. 270 million will never see the inside of a classroom. So we really need to revisit, and I believe this is where entrepreneurs come in. And I really genuinely believe They can bring solutions to these issues. If we can catch a rocket with chopsticks, we can reach those kids in rural communities. And that's what my company is doing.
Excellent. So I would like to hear about what you have set up, can empower teachers to do for themselves and do for the world. We'll come to that shortly. You have raised some dust, and let's see how we can get the dust settled. Because you are talking about we can't trust the government to do it for us in terms of promoting entrepreneurship and promoting good quality education. And I saw Abdullahi Bature, make a comment in this conversation that we're having, by way of contribution to the chat, that the company he runs is an ed-tech entrepreneur. He has defined a teacher as the person who inspires. Abdullahi, can you come in and talk to us a little bit about that? When you say that's the definition of a teacher, why are you taking that approach? And have you observed any shortcomings with respect to education system? And what do you think we can do as a society to change the way we do things?
Thank you, Dr. Peter. Well, for us, we're looking at how, the teacher, can support a learner. We believe that, just like Tamara just said, the person that is going to change Nigeria or change the world is 5 years old. No, the person is 5 years old today. And you need to support that 5-year-old. You need to motivate them to actually do that. You need to tell him, you can see Elon Musk doing this, you can do it too. And if you focus on somebody that is already 21, that is thinking about money, that knows how to dance on TikTok, you're not doing it right. So we've been doing a bit of our psychology and technology workshops for teachers. And we ask them, who was your favorite teacher when you were in school? And we keep getting, we like our teacher because they are knowledgeable. We like them because they are this, because they are that. And surprisingly, some of the things that we don't go to those workshops with was, I like my teacher because they dress nice. So we're saying teachers are inspiring a great generation. And somebody will say, I became a teacher because of my teacher. So whatever the teacher is doing in the classroom is very, very, very important. For example, if I'm a teacher teaching mathematics or STEM, what I need to say is that, see, you guys are going to build the biggest company, that are building cars in this country. Whatever you say is very, very important. These kids come with hidden curriculums, maybe more knowledgeable than you, but have access to GPT and internet, and they can learn all the things you are talking about. Before, during your time, you go to school, your hidden curriculum is small. It's only the things that your mother told you about, right? But today, the child can learn and even be better than the teacher. But how can the teacher be smart and inspire? And for us, mothers and teachers, are two same thing. Remember, your mother, all the things you learn from her, the things you take to school. And again, I can't agree more with Tamara. We've not thought of it this way, that, okay, the grandmother, the cousin, because myself, I think I started school from primary 2. I learned everything at home. I just went straight into primary 2. I was staying with my grandmother. So my dad's sisters were the ones that were teaching me ABC. And I was good enough to just start school. So, we have these very radical approach that, needs to happen for, us to get to prepare the children for the future or for today.
Yeah, we have been talking for some time now, and I love your story, but we haven't got all the time in the world to let the world hear your inspiring story, because I know that you are what you are today, not necessarily because of what has happened in regular classrooms in the formal education system. You have
Absolutely.
invested in yourself by, going after knowledge wherever you can find it, especially knowledge that is relevant to what you want to accomplish as an individual. And I know that left with your dad, you probably would not be in the space. But today, we are pulling in resources from around the world. Investors and donors are giving you, well, I'm trying to be careful to say those ones so that, we still have the bad boys in touch, so they don't come after you and say, give us a fraction of that money. But I know you're getting support from a global audience, because you have created some fantastic things. And most of those things you have come about them not because you waited for a regular teacher to teach you those things, because you have seen a niche, a gap in the marketplace, and you think you need to fill it. So can we give you 5 minutes? Are you happy to demonstrate the idea that the way government has compelled us to prepare lesson notes is a very laborious way to do it in a modern society where AI is there to support us and all the technology, and then we can get even superior knowledge borrowing from the collective wisdom of the world. That at the end of the day, when we say this is a lesson plan for today, it reflects the state of the art knowledge for that particular field. Can you take us through that in 5 minutes?
Yes, thank you very much. So this is our platform. We've built a solution called Cori AI, and Cori is just short for curriculum, and the AI is artificial intelligence. Remember, we say teachers need to inspire more, and how are they able to inspire if they spend all the time in the world preparing lesson notes, taking up their time? So what we did as a company, I have two technical co-founders that can build pretty much anything. We've been doing this for 4 years now. We built a solution that is simple, that just works exactly like the teachers work. It helps them create lessons, lesson plans, and assessment questions effortlessly. The teacher doesn't need any prompt engineering skills. I'm just going to, as I'm speaking, show you how it works. But then the Nigerian teachers community, in the coming weeks, we're definitely going to actually give it to you with support and with some discounts, etc. So it's as easy as this. Teachers are meant to create lesson plans, they are meant to create lesson notes, and they are meant to create assessment questions. From our research, it takes teachers an average 1 hour, 30 minutes to create a lesson plan or a lesson note, but we can do it now. Dr. Peter, you can just give me a topic, a subject and a topic, and we will be able to do that very fast. And then I'll say some of the things that we put into it to make sure that it stays within the confines of what the government wants.
All right, so can we, I love marketing, because you see, if you build the best thing in the world and nobody gets to learn about it, it's certainly not going to take you anywhere, which is one of the challenges Nigerian teachers seem to have. So many of them are very brilliant. Yeah, so marketing, and then...
So here, you notice curriculum. So we've put multiple curriculums here, right?
Okay.
You have the Nigerian curriculum, you have the Universal Basic Education, you have the British curriculum, you have IB and Montessori. Which one do we use, sir?
Let's use the first one. We are Nigerians.
Okay, so what topic in marketing?
Yeah, as I was mentioning, if you don't promote what you have and nobody gets to know that you're a great teacher, you teach mathematics, you're a great programmer, no, it doesn't bring you money. You don't get hired by the best employer. So
promotion, right?
Yeah.
What class will promotion be taught in? So here you select the level, and it's for K-12, it's for primary and secondary schools. What level will know promotion?
Yeah, let's use the final class in secondary school.
Okay, SS3. So what duration would be this class? Usually it's 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So, well, I could add this, but I want us to save time. You can add this, or the machine is able to help you do that. All I need to do is create. Okay. So are teachers using AI to create lessons? Yes, but we've built this specifically for the Nigerian teacher and the African teacher. So it has created the lesson plan, just like that. So what you need to do, just like that, 20 seconds is the maximum time it should take, or it fails. So, and then it says case study for successful and unsuccessful promotion. It shows you the objectives. It created the previous knowledge. You can edit this. It shows you step by step. Define marketing, the promotional mix, advertising, sales, direct, then strategy, case study. And we made it very easy that the teachers are able to edit. What is it that, we don't want? The student will be able to define marketing. Let's say we want to stop at 2 objectives. You can just delete that and you go and save it. So we've made it very flexible, putting the teacher, at the top of a good pedagogy. You're able to copy it out and take it anywhere. You're also able to share it to existing e-learning platforms. I take your suggestion. I think they're working on it. Share to WhatsApp, share via email, etc. Or you can share to Google Classroom. You can download for offline viewing. You can share directly to your school. You can also share to an existing LMS. Now, this is the lesson plan. This is the plan. We can also create class notes, the ones we share with the students, and you go to create new. You either create from scratch, or you are able to create from an existing lesson plan for which we had, and we made some edits. Only thing you need to do is just create, click on create, and like I said, just like that, we already have it, and it uses these words. Look at it: promotion, power up. You know, it's using terms that are relatable to this type of learner. When we launched Schooler, we wanted to make learning fun, engaging, and interactive, because the students, you know, are tired of the old notes that teachers use, and they want something new, something dynamic, something fun, engaging, and interactive. So look at what the AI did. It said, let's get this party started. Can you imagine? Think about this. How do you find out about the awesome new phone everybody's talking about, or that cool new game everybody's playing? You know, that's right. It's promotion. You know, promotion is blah, 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 blah. And it went ahead to say, let's break this down, advertising, what it does, and an example. It goes ahead to write these things for the teacher, saving them a lot of time so that they can focus on inspiring. And the same thing, you can edit this, copy, or share. One of the things, the tool that is mostly used by teachers is the assessment solution. And the same process, you go to lesson notes, because you have it already created on the platform. Questions come directly from that same lesson note. You select to create a lesson assessment questions, and you write promotion test, for example, or marketing test. You write the number of questions, and you choose the type of what is it called, assessment. Is it multiple choice, you know, subjective, or essay? I'll do multiple choice. And you click on it, and you have your 10 questions. This very, very easy way of doing it. So, but notice what we've done is that we've put the good pedagogy processes. When you want to create a good lesson, we have a template, and the template says, put this, put that, put previous knowledge, and you're able to add your own prompt to make learning, you know, engaging. Like I said, I wouldn't want to take a lot of our time. I want to listen, as I'm learning a lot from Tamara and Dr. Grace. But then the community, you know, should expect Corey AI will do a full launch. I am so sorry I didn't talk about this. We have a credit system. It's super, super affordable. You need 3 Naira, you know, 38 kobo to create this. And when I went to create lesson plans, you notice it says 10. 10 means it takes 10 credits. When it's for lesson note, it takes 5 credits. You'd see 5 here. And for assessment, and the whole what is it called, billing guide is also here. It's very inexpensive, but for the community, you are definitely going to have massive discounts. And that's what Dr. Peter, you know, says, I won't bring you on this platform except you make it easier. We have been saying it's inexpensive, but we've been getting a lot of support from a lot of good organizations all over the world. We've raised more than $320,000. So it makes sense that we are able to give back in a big way, and the Nigerian teachers community is a great start for us. Thank you very much.
Wow. I can't believe that it's possible to create a lesson note in 2 minutes. Because our members who come from over 100 countries around the world, every day they are complaining of lesson note. It's taking so much time, you know, it's laborious. And, you know, in the average Nigerian high school, you have 2 vice principals. One is in charge of administration, and the other one is in charge of, you know, academics. And a major role, a major responsibility of the vice VP, you know, academic is to just sit down and approve lesson notes. And the teachers spend hours every day they get home. So those who don't understand what they're going through, they may think that their job ends at 2 or 4. The truth is that they get home, you know, they close at 3 o'clock, and they spend 2 hours riding home. They get home and they're spending, you know, several hours preparing lesson notes before they even prepare meals for their children. And if they prepare the meal first, they still have to spend 2-3 hours before they get to bed. And then 5 a.m., especially for those in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja, they're up again going to school. Now, you are taking this stress off their shoulders.
We're giving them peace of mind. We're giving peace of
Abdullahi,
mind.
thank you
We're giving
for
peace of mind. Yeah, time for your husband, time for your child, you know. For
don't
Nigeria,
go there. Don't talk about time for your husband so that we don't start discussing gender issues. I'm like, that can be a very controversial area. But thank you very much for finding time to think about it. And a very big thank you to your partners globally. I know you haven't given me clearance to talk about some of the big donors from around the world who have also put money in what you're doing, including big international banks who are helping you to think through this with your team, a team of 24 fantastic young people. Please do let us know as soon as you're ready. And I'm happy that you're recognizing the fact that our people are not paid a lot of money currently. And so we would, if other people are paying 10 naira, we probably will be asking you to permit us to pay 5 naira. Where other people are paying 100, we may not be willing to pay more than 50,000, that kind of thing. So let's hear the details, and hopefully between now and the first week in January, we can get back to you when we have consulted our members, and we hear about how that will go. But definitely, this is fantastic. This is a major pain point for Nigerian teachers and maybe teachers globally. But I'm sure that you have customized this to reflect the pain point of the average teacher studying in any classroom in Nigeria. So coming to you, Tamara, again, before I bring you back on the show, Tamara, you have observed what Abdullahi is doing with his team, and it does definitely come across as very innovative and fantastic. And I know that you are doing something in a different direction, but when these two work together, they can empower teachers in a very definite way. So for you, you are even creating the content, that teachers can deploy without having to do all the talking, especially in places where it's not very easy to get as many teachers as possible into the classroom. Can you take about 5 minutes to talk us through it? How does it work?
Absolutely. Okay, I'll be as succinct as I can. One of the issues we're facing globally, I'll just give you a very short background, is access to qualified teachers worldwide is really in a critical situation. It's very difficult to access qualified teachers, and it's very difficult even if you do find teachers who have a mastery of subject matter, which is absolutely critical in every community if our students are to have a good education. This problem is particularly pronounced in areas outside of urban locations. Like here in Canada, we have a critical teacher shortage. So if it's bad here, you can imagine what it would be like in rural communities around the world. So what happened was my spouse and I decided, I'm a professor, of course, of entrepreneurship, as Dr. Peter mentioned, but I'm also a qualified teacher and had secondary school principal. I'm licensed in both Canada and the US. And I've spent a number of years abroad, and I've really noticed, and I don't want to repeat myself, but I've noticed this scarcity of high quality educators worldwide. And again, the problem is a crisis in rural areas. So what we did, my husband and I, is we basically created an entire school on one platform. And I'll just give you the verbal overview, and I'll give you a show of the academy shortly. But we created a platform and we follow the United States Common Core curriculum as well as the curriculum of the province of Ontario, Canada. And we have welcomed a team of global educators, highly qualified, board certified. And I stress that because there's a lot of entities online. I became very frustrated as a lifelong qualified educator in coming across entities online and I've nothing against tutors. Don't misunderstand me. Tutors, some of them are absolutely excellent, but I absolutely insisted in taking the quality up a notch and retaining only qualified teachers for the grades they're teaching, the subject matter they're teaching. So my husband and I put together a school, and let me show it to you. I hope I can find it now here, Dr. Peter. I'm trying to share here. Hold on. PowerPoint as background? I don't think I can share this, Dr. Peter. I'm a little bit, okay, hold on, share, hold on. No, hold on, I think I lost you. I'm trying to share. Oh, hold on. Hold on, please. No, that's not it. Okay, hold on.
Have you
Let me see
opened?
if I-
Have you opened it on your platform? Have you opened it on your computer?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, it's right here. I have it right in front of me.
Okay.
I won't keep you because I don't want to control time, because I'll show you how the platform works.
Okay.
I just want to get to share. Hold on. Let me try one more time.
Yeah.
Ah, there we go. There we go. There we go. The beauty of technology. Okay, can everyone see my page?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is the academy we started. Let me just go to, hold on, please. Let me just go to, where am I here? Okay, okay, here's where I am. Okay, you can see my page here, correct? Everyone can see this beautiful, colorful, artistic work, yes?
Very
Okay,
correct.
so here's what we did. We created an entire school online. It's a full-fledged school, and we're going through the process of US accreditation beginning in January. Currently, we have grades preschool to grade 6, all core academic subjects offered, which means social studies, science, language arts, mathematics, and we have a beautiful reading program. More topics are coming, such as music, art, physical education, citizenship. We're adding tons of new courses. Now, I'll give you an example of how this works. All right, let me go to grade 6. I'll just start with grade 6 language arts. Okay, so if you click on grade 6 language arts, right here, you're going to see an overview of what kids learn. Okay, over here, you will see all the units that students learn, like the concepts and skills. Here we have 44 units in grade 6 language arts. All right, and here's one of our teachers leading the lesson. Now, for each unit, we have 44 units. For each unit, there's an overview which describes what the students will learn in each unit. You have a vocabulary section which introduces students to new vocabulary that they will learn in that unit. These vocabulary are pretty challenging, but I'm a bit of an academic dragon. So I'm all about challenging kids. They definitely need it. Here we have story reading comprehension for kids, for reading purposes, vocabulary, and each of the units, say for instance, the unit focuses on, let's say, past tense verbs. The entire unit is linked to that one concept that students learn. All right. Now, when they finish all of the exercises, and they can write on the exercises, they can doodle over here. We have voice communication coming. We have assignments for students to do that they can work on that pertain to this particular unit is about journal writing. This particular unit, we have worksheets for them. And then we have a quiz where students can take a quiz here. They click on, hold on, let me move my camera over here a little bit. Students will click on the answers, and then at the bottom, they will submit the answers, and the system will tell them you got it right, you've got it wrong. And here's the correct answer. Students can take their time to work on these quizzes. Now, we have this organized for all subjects at every grade level. Like right now, language arts for grade 6 has 44 units. Science has 69 units. Mathematics, I think, has 65 units. And this is an entire school year in one, for one subject at the youth. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
in addition to this, for students who require additional academic support, the Academy can offer online tuition should that be needed for students who require additional academic support. Now, basically what we have here in a nutshell is an entire school on a platform in the process of US accreditation. This enables us to bring quality education by qualified educators. I emphasize this because this, as a lifelong educator, I'm really strict about these things. Our teachers are board certified. They're licensed by the grade they're teaching. They're licensed in the subject they're teaching, which is very, very important. So if your son or daughter takes a course, let's say in grade 9 math, the teacher leading that lesson is an experienced math teacher, certified, board certified in the teaching of mathematics. which is very, very important. So this is what we have, an entire school on a platform. We're growing. Preschool to grade 6 will be finished by the end of December, early January. The middle school will be complete in 2025, and a good percentage of the high school will be also completed and underway. And we're adding all kinds of new courses. One subject I want to add in the high school is critical thinking, and I'll call the subject philosophical inquiry, because I'm such a believer in teaching kids to examine issues from multiple sides. So that's where we are. And this academy is a perfect solution for inaccessibility in terms of education. And it's also a wonderful solution for anyone who wants to set up a homeschool. We take the teaching away from someone who sets up a homeschool. We do that for them. We provide, everything is right here. If you want to set up a homeschool, this is it. You've got it. If you want to set up a vacation school, this is the ideal opportunity. If you want to set up an after-school program, this is the ideal opportunity. If you want to set up a private school, it's perfect. If you have a preschool or a daycare and you want to extend into the growing grades with a program that's led by teachers, this is perfect. If you're working for a public school or a private school and your students need extra academic reinforcement or after-school program, this is perfect. We're very versatile. I'm open to suggestions and would love to work with anyone who is interested in what we have to offer, because it's a pretty magical place. And I'll stop at that, Peter, because I think I've used up my time.
Excellent, Tamara. This is fantastic. You guys, you, Tamara, Grace, and Abdullahi, you're fantastic people. We are trying to make life, significantly much easier for the average teacher in the world. Grace, coming back to you, you have listened to both Tamara and Abdullahi. I can see you already, call it while Abdullahi was making his remark, probably as he was finishing, he did say, this is fantastic. What do you think? I think that those of us who are lucky to be coming across, people like you, and there's need for us to work together as a team to do more for the world. And it's important that we use our platform to let the world know that people like you exist, because if we didn't have this conversation, the average Nigerian teacher would not know that it's very possible, instead of sitting down there and complaining that you're not paid well, you can actually, buy resources from the internet and set up your own school and reach children in far-flung places. And for, Abdullahi, with the idea he has shared, this looks like something that makes life very easy for the average teacher. Grace, what do you think?
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, thank you. So I think, oh, sorry, I thought I was echoing a little bit. I thought that was really great. I mean, Tamara, that was so nice and colorful and beautiful, and you put it so right about inaccessibility, children that can't, really get around to go to the normal schools and all that. They actually have a solution where they don't actually miss out. So it's all about inclusion, or maybe you guys call it inclusivity, we call it inclusion over here, and it's just, I think it's tremendous, and it looks so beautiful. Well done, what you guys are doing. Would certainly love to, love to connect, love to help, whatever, whatever way I can.
Yeah, of course, you have got technical skills in this area, programming. And so Tamara, I'll share, if Grace gives me the permission, I will share her contact with you so that, if the need arises, people can talk more. Grace, do I have your permission?
Yeah, absolutely. Would love to connect with her, and also with Abdullahi, as well. I would love to, it's a really lovely product, and, takes so walk away from his teachers. So would definitely love to play around with it and test as well and support, a bit.
So at this point, I know that you are not the only ones who want to connect with, one another. Some other people on this platform would like to also connect and probably ask questions. So we'll take about 2 or 3 questions, and then I will make closing remarks, by way of helping to let the average teacher on this platform today, or listen or watching this program from anywhere, realize that the agency is yours. You don't wait for the government to pay you more money. You don't wait for your private, sector, a school to pay you more money. It may not happen. The Nigerian economy is in deep trouble at the moment. What is on the mind of the government, especially in terms of priority, is certainly not how to pay teachers more, but how to probably,
there is no more money. We don't even have more money to beg. So, but there are more monies in the hands of different other people. I think I even have something written. The private school cannot pay you more, the government cannot pay you, but you can earn more, especially in today's, technology-driven world. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. And in January, for those who are lucky to be, associated with us, we have a program that will also give them 7 days of physical contact, with me and some other resource persons in Ikeja in Lagos. So if you live anywhere in Lagos and East Coterminous cities like, such as Abeokuta, Ibadan, you have graciously you can come to us once every week. Coming on Saturdays. We have a program that ordinarily costs about 550,000, but we have been able to talk with the providers, and they can make it available for only 150,000 for you to get a professional certification on how to promote schools and new ideas. But if you don't live in Lagos, you can come in and do 1 week at a go. You come in on a Saturday and you finish the following Saturday. And it's just like acquiring a fresh degree. And it's not just about acquiring a fresh degree, which is professionally certified by the relevant professional body in Nigeria. You, more importantly, have the skills you need to be able to set up your school. If you're already running one, you double your income as your revenue as a school. If you're a teacher, very concerned about how am I going to go into 2025, still complain about prices of foodstuff have continued to rise, and my take-home pay cannot take me home in the real sense of it, then the ball is in your court. We'll make it possible for you to solve that problem. So don't just sit down and complain, and don't also relax and think that help will come from the moon. Yeah, it's okay to pray and have faith, but faith without works is definitely not going to take us as far as we would like it to take us. So can we get any question? If there's anybody in the house who would like to ask a question, if you use the right buttons and raise your hand, we'll unmute you to speak. We'll take only 3. What tends to happen on occasions like this is that everybody will be waiting until the first person finds the courage. It's also generally a problem with teachers. Teachers are not, they are in a system that punishes errors, punishes mistake. But the type of education we are proposing on this platform and using all our platforms is the education that says it's okay to make mistake. You learn from your mistakes. You get the difference between success and there's a thin line between success and failure. Failure tends to lead to success, and if you also don't manage your success well, it can lead to failure. So we have to be willing and ready to take risk as teachers. Let's not be like those of our students who always make all the A's in school, but they open their mouth only when they're absolutely sure they're going to say the right thing. So if you have got a question, that'll be fine for you to ask. But I know that there's a question that was dropped in the chat, and that should go to Abdullahi. What you have created, is it possible for a school to acquire it and then make it available to the teachers that they employ?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I think I've replied that. And I was about to show that because I was really wary of time. Okay. You would see that we have a dedicated platform for schools. The same thing that VP admin that we have can go see the notes that are shared by their teacher. The same process, look at it here, pending lessons, check them, go down, approve or reject. Okay, and when the teacher is rejecting, he writes a note and it goes back. When the VP is rejecting, so all these things are possible. Dr. Peter, I really love that, you have us all here to think of how we can collaborate and actually support the community. So there is that. They can buy these credits and share it amongst the teachers that are in the school. Okay, so they buy the credits and they're able to share it. We've done all this, right? So it's not marketing today, it's just showing us the possibilities, and when we think around it, we come back to the community. Instead of the banters, there might be different days in the community where we talk about progressiveness, where we talk about feedback, where we talk about all the things that helps all these our solutions grow. Thank you very much.
That's excellent. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Grace Olubode, who joined us from the UK. Thank you very much, Dr. Tamara Wyatt, who has joined us from Canada. You have shared wonderful insights into the projects you're doing and also revealed a lot of wonderful ideas and products that can empower our people. As leader of the Nigerian teachers community, which has close to 0.8 million people from over 100 countries around the world, I'm very glad that I know you guys. So as we say in Nigeria, I'm connected. So anytime I'm struggling with how do I start a school in a rural community, I go to Tamara and buy lessons that are ready. You know, teachers have already delivered the things, and I just gather children in my room and I start the thing, and parents will pay. You know, and then if I need to formalize what I'm doing, maybe because our government is coming for inspection or those inspectors from Ministry of Education, they are coming and we want to show papers, or probably because we want to do things in a certain way. Abdullahi Bature is also leading the charge, and we have a great mind, Dr. Grace Olubode, who is doing a wonderful job around the world, creating ideas using the ideas that have come from the world of computer science. As a professional programmer, you are doing a great work, and I'm very proud of all of you being Nigerians, and even Tamara, who is Canadian, is in some sense also a Nigerian. She was here with us teaching entrepreneurship and the chair of entrepreneurship, you know, at American University in Adamawa, Yola. Those of you who know what good quality education means, that is a university that rings, you know, that name rings a bell. And so thank you for finding time to come. And I know, Tamara, you have promised me that you find a way to join us in Nigeria anytime, you know, sometime soon, so that we can, apart from having coffee, we can also share our local Nigerian dishes together and enjoy it again. I suspect you're missing some of those dishes. Confirm, Tamara. Will you come over for us to eat together?
I'd love to. I would love to. As long as everybody here can come too.
Yeah. So
Dr.
I'll make sure that we serve the spicy ones, and I want you, you know, I want you struggle with with spicy food. So, but trust me, we'll bring a lot of water, you know, to the table, so that if what do you call it now, pepper goes into the wrong direction, we'll use water to deal with it.
Dr. Peter, kind request. May I
Yes.
just very short. If you could share, I would love to have Abdullah's and Grace's and if you could share maybe our businesses with the crowd, it would be wonderful. Like our links, our company links. Could you do that with the team who are here?
Yeah, definitely. It's a community, of course. You know, I have access to everyone, so and they would like to they would like to meet you. As a matter of fact, we're invited just a few people. We didn't expose the whole of our community to what is going to happen this evening. We just wanted to have the conversation. But by the time we are done, we have recorded it. We can now share it to the thousands of people who belong to our community, so that more people can get to hear. That's what we'll do. Because everybody needs to know that we don't sit down and complain. We can do something about our circumstances, especially if we're desiring improvements. Grace, are we together? Yeah. Are you happy for us to also let the world know that indeed we can change our world without having to wait for government? Is Grace still there? Yeah, muted.
Okay. The properties, Dad's properties are not there, and the ones he bought are not there.
So in other words, according to you, he has not made a full.
Sorry, Grace. It seems there is an interference from somewhere.
Tell me whether he has made a full decree.
Grace, can you mute this thing? Can you mute your microphone, Grace? Okay, that's all right. So Grace probably will get back to us since there's an interference from somewhere there. All right, so we'll leave it there. So thank you very much. I will share the details of this conversation, and then when Tamara and Abdullahi get back to me, as well as Dr. Grace, with further information that can be, of help to the Nigerian teachers community. Trust me that I'll be happy to share, really, with the larger community. Yeah. So those who are not able to make it today, I will share the link to the recording so that you can hear about these wonderful ideas. Our people are really great people. And if you think you need to talk to me before probably we start sharing, my telephone number is in the chat box. And of course, if you're a member of our community, that platform through which you heard about this, you can also use it to reach me. And let me use this opportunity again to emphasize to members of our community that I do not call individual members of our community. There are a lot of, we call them 419 people, scammers, fraudulent individuals who sometimes, because we are doing a fantastic job empowering people, they want to use my name, the name of our community, to make money from people. I don't call people on individual basis asking them to attend any meeting. If we have a meeting to convene, I just send out a WhatsApp message and give the link, and I'm the only person that does that. We did it deliberately so that nobody can say I delegated him to. So when you hear, if you discover that somebody is talking to you and saying, Nigerian teachers community, we're meeting and use this code. If you click on those codes, those things have a way of making people lose money. We are not into that. I don't call people. I only use my handle on our WhatsApp platform to share it. Or when we have to make posts that will benefit the larger community, we share it on Facebook. And of course, if you are not a member of Nigerian Teachers on Facebook, the time for you to join has come. Just go there. If you go to Facebook and type Nigerian Teachers, and you see a group that has over 750,000 members, they know that you're in the right place. Because some people have also tried to copy the fantastic ideas we're using to benefit our world and make it a better place. And people have set up places they also try to call Nigerian teachers or Nigerian teachers this and that. So we are not worried about that. It's proof that the good work we're doing is bearing fruit. So if you like, yes, it's also it's good, you can copy. But if you want to get close and hear about how we are making a difference in the world, you can come. It costs us a lot of money. We don't charge for the things that we share on our platforms, because we believe that when God has, blessed one, we should also do our best to also reach out with some of the blessings so that we can also receive more. So on that note, thank you very much. If you would like us to help you to start year 2025 on a fantastic note, watch out for a post I will make tomorrow morning on our WhatsApp platforms. And I think that every teacher should take advantage of that. Even if you haven't got the money to take advantage of the small fraction the donors want you to contribute, so that they can give you access to a product that is worth 550,000. They have picked up 400,000 of it, so you don't pay 400,000. You pay only 150, and you get certified. It's just like getting a fresh degree. And I'm very passionate about that, so that you can learn how to promote the things you have created. It's either you do 7 days at a stretch in Lagos, start on a Saturday, end on a Saturday, and go back to your station, no matter where you live in the world. Or if you live in Lagos or any of its conterminous cities, you join us on Saturdays. For 7 Saturdays, you will get through the training, and you write, we put it through an examination. And once you write the essay successfully, we get the relevant examination authorities, bodies, and regulatory agencies to give you relevant certification, which will enhance your capacity to make money. And what that certification will do for you is to probably more than quadruple your income on a monthly basis. So I don't want to hear any member of our platform complain next year that teachers are not paid well. Government is not going to solve that problem. Your current employers are not going to solve that problem, because now they talk about band A, they need electricity to run the schools. After paying huge amounts of money to relevant electricity authorities, they don't have money to increase the salary that you think is not enough. And indeed, if you do run a school, you will understand that it's actually not easy to run a school in today's Nigeria. If you are not involved, you will not know how much of taxes school owners pay. We are not making a case for them, because we know some of them too are very, extravagant spenders. They use the money to do things they shouldn't be doing. So such school owners, we discourage them from doing that. But indeed, it's not easy for people to run schools conventionally. That's why this evening has been very beneficial to me and to the people who have joined us, and to you who has managed to watch this program graciously. So on that note, we want to thank you for finding time to join us, and hope that 2025 will be a great one, and trust us, we'll do this kind of event in early January, God helping us, so that we can welcome you to a new year and remind you of some of the conversations we have had today, and probably bring back these three fantastic people who have joined us from Nigeria, UK, and Canada. So thank you very much, Abdullahi Bature. Thank you very much, Dr. Grace Olubode. Thank you very much, Dr. Tamara Wyatt, for joining us from these different countries around the world. I hope you have a great weekend and end your year well. Bye-bye.